This is Patrick from Stomp and Stroll Radio, and I'm on the phone with Matt from the Planet Smashers. What's up?
Oh, well, we're just rolling down the road. How you doing?
I'm all right. We play you guys every week, even though you're Canadian. No, I'm kidding.
I know.
No one's perfect. It's fine. But seriously though, we play you guys every week. We're recording this a week in advance. We have Tear It Up on the set tonight, which is cool.
All right, thanks. That's really cool, man.
I just watched the video last night. You can take a hit from a roller derby girl better than anyone I've ever seen.
Those girls, they're good, man. They knew what they were doing. A couple of them showed up. We were up at Boozer Fest. We didn't play. I was just hanging out, working there. And one of them came up. She's like, "Do you remember me?" I'm like, "No." I was one of those roller derby girls that kicked your ass. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember now. That hurt." We left that video all injured. Everybody had bruises.
Yeah, I don't remember your face, but I remember hitting the floor. Was that you?
I think I remember killing. Anyway, but yeah, we all got pretty bruised up. But they were cool, and that dance that they do at the end, they just did that on the spot. I was like, what just happened? That was so cool.
They came prepared.
Yeah, they were great.
All right, so I gotta say, you guys, we go through a lot of music on the show, and as far as band names go, you guys are probably one of the coolest ones. How did you guys arrive at the Planet Smashers?
It's not that earth shattering. I mean, we were partying late at night.
You can make it up. You can make it up. It's cool.
It just happened. Someone had been smoking a little too much, and it was just like, I think Planet Smashing is amazing. Like, okay, that was it. We were going to be super tanker with umlauts on all the vowels, but we decided that was a bad idea. Super tanker.
You get a call from Lemmy like, I did that first. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, that would have been it. We're a super tanker. We just weren't heavy enough, but so it was Planet Smashers.
Very cool. So when I first started listening to you guys, stuff off the Unstoppable album, which is great. To me, like looking through your stuff, it seems like around Unstoppable, you guys had a little bit more of something to say. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we got a little bit. I mean, those times it was pretty different from pre 9/11 to after. I mean, it affected everybody, and you can hear it in everything that came out after that. I find, at least, and it definitely affected Smashers. So we got a little bit more political, a little bit more, intelligent, I would say. But we still kept the goofy in there, man. There's some dumb songs on that record.
I mean, the first my gateway to the Planet Smashers was Police the Nation. So that was the first song I heard. I'm like, oh, these guys got something to say. All right. And then I backtracked. I'm like, oh, Super Orgy Porno Party. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, Police Nation. That was there was a lot of riots in Montreal during that time. The students were protesting pretty hard, and there was a lot of violence, police violence, targeting street kids, basically. I wouldn't generalize them as homeless, but the kids that were living on the streets. And there was just a lot of that going on, and we kind of getting sick of it. So it just did, the totalitarianism that was happening in an otherwise democratic.
Right. Well, us in the States, we wouldn't know anything about that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
So yeah, it continues. So it's getting worse.
So, I mean, I'm curious, because, I mean, we tend to, I like to reach out to as many people as I can, but, what's the scene like up there? What's the ska scene like? Is it...
We're sort of in a new kind of phase. There's some new ska bands kicking up. A lot of francophone ska bands coming out of Quebec right now, which is different, because back when, I'd say, there's probably only been a handful through the course of our existence. Right now, there's probably more than there were in the last 20 years, just all working together. And it's a pretty different little scene. They're very tight-knit. They're helping each other out. We get to play with quite a few of them as we crisscross the province of Quebec. But that's cool. In the city of Montreal itself, there's always been a love for ska. We've got, K-Man and the 45s, which are still doing great. We have Beatdown, which has been a great, Montreal ska reggae band for a while now. And there's a lot of new young bands. It's nice to see.
Right, and I feel like...
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever heard of the Kingpins. They're going to be doing a little
Yes.
reunion show this summer at the Dropkick Murphys Rancid tour stop in Montreal. So it's pretty
Sweet. Now, they're on Stomp Records, right?
Yep, originally on Stomp. Now they haven't been a band for 15 years, but they occasionally do like a show here and there.
Right.
Dust off the suits and get back up. They're a great band, though.
So for people who don't know, you were one of the founders of Stomp Records, right?
Yep, we started. I was in school at the time, and it was just something to do. We were just goofing around with it and having a good time. And then someone said, "Why don't we try to put out a record because no one else will put them out?" We tried to get signed. The Smashers tried to get signed to a few labels, and no one even responded. So we're like, "Well, I guess we'll just do it ourselves." So we did it, and it just kept on going. And I started touring and eventually dropped out of school. Don't worry, I got my undergrad. I was all right, and I got a master's. But then it was kind of like, that's enough.
See, there you go. He knows how to sell it on the college radio station. That's it. He's like, don't worry, I got it.
Get the degree first, and then join the stupid ska band. But it was great. We had such a good time. So, why stop? We just kept on doing it. And the hobby turned into a career. Pretty lucky.
That's pretty awesome. I mean,
yeah.
And Stomp Records is they're still around as a label, right? Because I know they merged with a couple people and.
Yeah, it's still the main label. I mean, that's where I work. We have a deal with Warner in Canada. In the States, it's not so much, but we work with quite a few different bands. It's not just ska. There's a lot of punk rock and even quite a bit of rockabilly and psychobilly, like bands like the Creep Show and the Brains. We're on Stomp up here. Real Mackenzies, who are on Fat in the States, are on Stomp in Canada.
Oh,
there's a lot of that going on.
Cool.
We curate the Canadian bands and then we license them out to bigger labels that can do better jobs.
Right. That's would you say the Real Mackenzies were on? I'm sorry.
They're on Fat in the States.
Oh, that's Fat Mike's record label, right?
You got it. That's right. So they're they've been doing that for a while, and we've been working with them for probably 8 years now. It's pretty good.
Sweet.
Good team. And we got some hardcore bands like Brutal Youth or Outstanding. They just did Ashbury Park in New Jersey last summer.
Very cool. Very cool.
So, they're fairly active groups, and everything from ska to like I'd call it country folk.
Right. Which is a pretty broad scope for any label, but I mean that's really cool to hear it coming from like a smaller label too.
I mean, way back in the day, Moon Records, I think it was like 1998 or 9, maybe 99, just before they went bankrupt. The main guy there, not Buck, but his colleague there, he was like, "Hey man, our big mistake at Moon was that we pushed ska, we didn't push the bands." And we took that and we thought about it, and we're like, "Oh, you're right, man. We've been pushing ska. We should really focus on the actual bands because that's more important." And that's what we did. It kind of helped, in terms of keeping Stomp Records going. That advice really helped us over the years.
Totally.
So, yeah, I still love ska though. Don't get me wrong. It's my life.
He's like, don't get it twisted. I know what I'm about, but those other guys are cool too. They're cool.
Anyway.
What do you think the Smashers' career would have been like if Stomp Records wasn't a part of it? Do you think there would be one?
It would have been very different. I mean, when our third record came out, it was Life of the Party. We had a couple offers with some majors, but the deals were terrible. They were just, we're going to take it all. And at the time, we were like, I don't think these guys can sell any more than we can, so what's the point?
Right.
But it would have been different. That was a little ignorant on our behalf. I'm sure they would have sold more than, our little independent label could have. And it would have been great, but I think it would have been short-lived. I think we would have burnt out and called it quits earlier, because this was such a gradual process with no real plan, and the band just kept on making new friends. It just kept on developing. We got on the Warped tours, and then, Dave from Mustard Plug started the Ska's Dead tours, and that was great. We met and became friends with so many good American ska bands because of those tours. Still to this day, when Big D comes to town, or anybody, Big D, Mustard Plug, Voodoo, Toasters, anyone like that, it's like old friends coming home, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Big D and the Kids Table's awesome.
Up here, and Bigwig, actually. It was a really good combination just about a month ago, and it was amazing. Every show was sold out, and everyone was happy, and, you know, the promoters were friendly. The fans were super into it. So playing with Big D is always a pleasure.
Yes, I'm glad you mentioned that because my friend Phil, who also has a show on WMSC, but it's not a ska show because he's a trader, he went to BC for a while, and he saw you guys open for Big D in the kids' table up there.
Right on.
He's like, I'm going to paraphrase him right now. He said they all came out wearing the same thing, so I was my hopes weren't that good, but then once they started playing, it was great.
That's good, man. I'll take that.
It was, I think it was around Halloween. It was when you guys were up there. He came back, he's like, no, you should really check these guys out. I'm like, okay, sure. And I did, and you guys are awesome.
Hey, right on.
Did not lie.
I mean, hopefully we'll come back. I mean, we were down there for the Boston show. I don't know if that's pretty far. That's Boston.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty far from where you are. But it was good. I mean, we should be back in the New York area soon enough. Might not be in this summer or anything like that, but it'll be soon. We'll be down there in the fall, most likely.
All right, so I'm kind of curious because, like, reading up on ska bands, which I do because I do.
Yeah.
You guys, a lot of ska bands, I think, as the bands are bigger, maybe go through a lot of different lineup changes over time. As the kind of core of the band, do you feel that? Does that, like...
Oh, yeah. I mean, when we were touring hard, it was, you burn out. You can burn out pretty quick. And so we've been through quite a few changes, but it's very stable for the last 7 years. It's been the same group of people. I mean, our drummer's been in for 15, and it's just Dave and I from the original Planet Smasher band. We've been doing it for 20 years. But it tends to turn over, and you see that with a lot of bands, especially with, you know, the horn players, unless they're founding members.
Right.
Changed quite a lot. I mean, there's not many bands that haven't. And, you know, Mustard Plug's in the same band for probably 15 years. I think that's one of the few. And then other than that, probably less than Jake. You know, I can't think of too many other ones that have kept the main, like, more than 80% of the band members.
Right.
Know? It's not many. Voodoo Glow Skulls. Well, no, even then, they've been through a lot.
Yeah.
Three brothers.
Even between the two times I saw Big D in the kids' table in New Jersey were different lineups. Is it different?
Well, that's just tricky because our bass player can't get into America still. So we always have to borrow a bass player. That's why.
Funny you should mention that. I'm also a bass player, just saying.
Well, you should come out. Steve Foot, though, he's trying to get the gig. He's always like, stop bringing these Canadian bass players down. Just have me play. I'll
strong arm people. I've been doing this for a minute, longer than I've been doing the radio. I'll strong arm people for that.
All right, man. Do it. We can have it.
I can I have your email for doing the interview. I could harass you there.
Perfect. Sounds like a destiny, man.
Would you
next time when you're there, you'll be in the band.
I'll do the interview from the stage. That's cool.
It's perfect.
But you feel like with the lineup the way it is now, it feels good doing the old songs. Does it still feel like a band, like strong live? That's kind of a leading question, but
I mean, everyone brings their own little twist in, you know?
Right.
And we're still writing new songs. So with the new guys, we're doing new tunes. So there's still that's still happening. And you know, the old songs that we wrote, they're so old that some of them don't really I don't really remember who fully thought of the idea first and who really, you know, came up with the song. You can look on paper and you can see the splits, but when you're up there playing it, it kind of just feels like it's the Planet Smashers, and it's not really mine or Dave's or some other one else's band,
right.
You know? So it just kind of feels like you're on stage, you're playing the Planet Smashers, and that's a Planet Smashers song, so have fun, you know? It doesn't really feel like it's mine.
I'd say it's been successful in that. You guys still sound, looking up, you guys sound tight as ever. I haven't seen you live yet myself.
That's got to come out.
That's on the to-do list.
There you go. You should come up to Montreal sometime. Those shows up here are banging. They're great. We're on the road right now to basically the end of Quebec. We're heading out to a place called Mont Saint-Anne-des-Lacs. It's this tiny little youth hostel on the St. Lawrence River. Well, actually, pretty much ocean by then. And it's just so much up here. There's so many cool places to play. But when it comes down to it, the diversity is remarkable. I mean, we're going to go play a club that's probably going to have about 80 people in it versus a couple weeks ago when we were in Montreal, we had over 1,000. So it's kind of fun. You get to do a lot of different things up here. It's not a lot of main urban centers, but there's definitely a love for music. So you see that with all the American bands coming up and spending a little bit more time up here than you normally would for the population size. So you should come up, visit. You'll have a great time. I promise you.
Will do. And I love it when bands segue into the next question. It makes my job so much easier.
Right on.
What's your tour like now for people who want to come out and see you? Where are you? What's up next?
Well, we're doing a lot of weekends right now because we're supposed to be working on a new record, although that's kind of going slow. We got weekends this week, and then we're doing 2 more next weekend, and then we start doing some of the festival shows in and around Quebec. We're doing Rockfest. It's kind of a big one up here. If you look at that lineup, it's insane. It just goes on and on and on and on. Then we're going to England in the summer, which will be fun. We're going to do a week over in England, meet up with some friends, do some festivals over there. And then in September, it gets a little busy with more festivals and club dates and stuff like that. And then we're really supposed to be in studio after that. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of weekend warrior dates right through the whole year coming up. And they're all going to be fun shows, but there's no extensive week-long tours.
Gotcha. So is it
a bit of a tour, but
yeah. Is it fair to ask about when the next Planet Smashers record is coming out, or not yet?
The goal is April 2018. So I mean, if we can have it all done by end of mid-January, we should be good.
Very cool. I'm excited.
And we got to start. Yeah, I'm super excited. I have no idea what's going to. Maybe it'll be jazz. Who knows? I'm kidding. It won't be jazz. It'll be ska.
Jazz fusion Planet Smashers. We're going in with no plans. Just plug it in.
Market for that.
It's a niche market, but you can do it.
Yeah, at least.
Maybe in the States. I don't know. I don't think Canadians would fall for that.
No, well, you never know. There are some weird pockets up here. I gotta be honest. But we always intended that the Planet Smashers would be a ska band, and from the beginning, it was always, if you want to do something different, well, extremely different, go start a new band. I mean, I love Madness's first records, but as they became more of a pop band, I kind of lost respect for them. It's just, I know a lot of people say, it's a creative process and do what you want to do, but no, I believe in shtick. I believe in design and that type of thing. So, I mean, if you start a band that's punk, don't become a pop band. That's just my 2 cents, just start a new band.
Yeah, and I mean, people, I agree, I tend to agree, there's a difference between, just growing as a band and, forgetting why people listen to you.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean...
Right, Safe Ferris? No, I'm kidding.
There's still a lot to explore.
Right, Safe Ferris? I know you're listening to my show. No, I'm kidding. They're back together now, though. They're doing ish. The Safe. Let me say this because I don't want to throw anybody under the bus because I still play them on my show. The Safe Ferris name is active again.
I've seen it. They did that tour.
Did you see the new whatever Safe Ferris is now?
No, I didn't catch them, but I heard that one song and it was okay. It's just not what I remember. I mean, I'm older too, I guess, so maybe it's a little different. I don't know, maybe. But I didn't really dig that new song. But hopefully they'll do something better.
It's a little bit of an Axl Rose situation, I think. But
yeah, a bit.
It's here's the name of the band and one person.
Yeah, I heard some grubbiness from promoters.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I'll save that for when I'm rambling on my show. I don't want to throw you under the bus.
Yeah, I've never met them or her, but good.
Exactly. There it is.
Yeah. So, all
right, man.
I mean, there are a few bands that do that, and yeah, it's all right and everything. But if it doesn't feel like a band, then just don't call it a band. Just call it a project.
Yeah,
good enough. So,
I mean, Guns N' Roses got back together after 20 years. So what's their excuse?
It could happen.
They're coming near me too. Guns is coming. They're coming to Madison Square Garden near us. I'm debating whether to go. I'm debating whether to try to mortgage my house to go.
So expensive.
Oh my God! And
crazy. I'm not going to go in Montreal. So.
Right.
I mean, I just can't afford that, and I don't necessarily want to have the memory shattered by Guns N' Roses, idolism.
If you ever get the chance, I don't know if you've seen it, is totally off topic, but Corey Taylor from Slipknot did when he was doing his spoken just talking tour when he wrote the book, he told a story of when he went to see new Guns N' Roses, and it is one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
Oh, I gotta find that.
Yeah, no, definitely.